Okay, good morning students. In the last class, we have discussed about the radioactivity and radioactive radiations, alpha, beta, gamma radiations and their properties, and radioactive decay, displacement law and radioactive disintegration and a half-life period and a mean life period. Now, the activity. Activity of radioactive element or radioactive nuclei. So, activity means the number of disintegrations that take place in unit time is called activity. That means if more number of disintegrations takes place in short interval of time, then that particular element is more radioactive. That means its activity is more. So, activity is defined as the number of disintegrations per unit time, and that is called activity. Okay. So, activity is nothing but the modulus of dN by dt. Okay. That means the absolute value of the rate of disintegration is activity. If a particular nuclei gives disintegrates more in short interval of time, its activity is more. If it gives out radiations in long duration of time, then its activity is less. So, this is measured in, and the activity is measured by unit called becquerel. Becquerel. So, the activity is measured by the unit becquerel, which is equal to 1 disintegration per second. Okay, if in 1 second, if the radioactive nuclei disintegrates, therefore the number of disintegration, that means 1 disintegration per second, then it is called a becquerel. So, the activity is measured by this unit becquerel, that is 1 disintegration per second. But another unit of activity is taken as Curie. QI. So, this is another unit of activity, and which is approximately, that means it is taken because this activity is approximately equal to the activity of 1 gram of pure radium. So, this Curie is taken as the unit because this Curie unit is approximately equal to the activity of 1 gram of pure radium, and that is 1 Curie is defined as 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 disintegrations per second. Disintegrations per second, or we can say it is 3.7 10 to the power 10 becquerels. Okay. This is the units regarding the activity of radioactive. Activity means the number of disintegrations that takes place in unit time is called activity, and the unit of activity is 1 becquerel. That means if there is a 1 disintegration per 1 second, then it is called 1 becquerel. But another convenient unit of this activity is taken as Curie, and that 1 Curie is the 1 Curie disintegrations is equal to approximately the 1 gram disintegrations of 1 gram of pure radium, and that is defined as 1 Curie is equal to 3.7 10 to the power 10 disintegrations per second, or 3.7 10 to the power 10 becquerel. Okay. Now, nuclear energy. Now, we discuss nuclear fission. nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission is when uranium nuclei is bombarded with a thermal neutron. Actually, uranium thermal neutron, or thermal neutron is nothing but slow neutron. It's called slow neutron. When this slow neutron is bombarded with uranium 92-235 uranium nuclei, that means when slow neutron bombarded with this uranium 235 nuclei, then it splits into two stable nuclei with the release of 3 neutrons and energy. That means it splits into two stable nuclei and 3 neutrons. And this was first observed by Otto Hahn and Strassmann. These two scientists first observed in 1939 that when a slow moving neutron is bombarded with uranium 235 nuclei, it splits into two stable nuclei with and release of 3 neutrons and energy, releasing energy, and this is called nuclear fission. Actually, fission is the term taken from biology. Okay, so first these two scientists observed that a thermal neutron hit with a uranium nuclei, it splits into two stable nuclei with the release of energy, and this is called nuclear fission. That means an unstable nuclei splitting into two stable nuclei is called nuclear fission. So the actual nuclear equation for this nuclear fission is given by uranium 235-92 plus a neutron. That means when this uranium nuclei hit with a slow moving neutron, then this uranium nuclei splits into two nuclei, barium and krypton, and with barium with 56-141 and 36-92 plus 3 neutrons plus energy. Okay, so when uranium nuclei is hit with or a thermal neutron or a slow moving neutron hit the uranium nuclei, it splits into two nuclei, barium and krypton, stable nuclei, barium and krypton, and 3 electrons in the release of energy, and this is called nuclear fission. Okay, 1 minute, whether to check 80, 92, okay. So 141 plus 92, 233 plus 3, 236. Here also 235 plus 1, 236. Okay, and 92 is equal to 56 plus 36. In this way, nuclear reaction is balanced. Okay. Okay. That means this uranium nuclei splits into barium and krypton. So actually, this particular nuclear fission was explained by Bohr and Wheeler by liquid drop method. By liquid drop model of nucleus. What this liquid drop model is, according to this liquid drop model of nuclear, the nucleus is considered to be a liquid drop. That means which acquires the shape of sphere. So a spherical drop or sphere. So, in a balanced state, that means in the balanced state, this particular nucleus is a spherical one, like this, is a spherical one. So, exactly in the shape of spherical under balanced condition. But when this nucleus captures this neutron, its energy is excited. That means its energy excited, so that this nucleus, due to this excited energy, it oscillates. That means the nucleons inside it oscillates, so that this will not be stable. That means it won't be in the spherical shape. So its shape will be just like a ellipsoid, like this. Due to the excited, when this spherical nucleus captures this neutron, it excites. Due to this excitation energy, this nucleus vibrates. Due to these vibrations, this acquires the shape of ellipsoid. That means this composite nucleus excited, and that excited one vibrates, so that it acquires. Now, if this vibrational energy increases more and more, it will acquire the shape of dumbbell, like this. So that if this energy, this vibration increases, it becomes too stable nucleus. Okay? That means when this uranium nucleus captures this neutron, its shape changes into an ellipsoid. If the vibrational excitational energy increases, it vibrates, so that it will acquire the shape. If at a particular vibration state, this particular Coulombian repulsion increases, then this will break into two stable nuclei. In this way, they have explained this nuclear fission. Now we will calculate the energy released in this nuclear reaction. Okay, in this the energy released in this nuclear reaction. So actually, in nuclear reactions, what happens is the sum of the masses of the products and sum of the masses of reactants, these two, reactants and products, is not equal, because a nuclear reaction cannot obey the law of conservation of mass. Okay, actually the reactants mass and this is products mass and reactants mass. This mass of this reactants is greater than that of this products mass. Okay, so the difference in mass is converted into energy. Okay, now we will calculate the energy released in a nuclear fission. So here it is, the uranium nucleus has now before nuclear reaction, nuclear fission, mass of these two, sum of the mass. So mass of uranium 235 is 235.125 AMU, and that of this neutron is 1.008 AMU. Okay, and here in this case, after nuclear fission, so mass of barium is equal to 140.91 approximately. 1 minute. 958, and that of krypton is 91.927. So mass of this 3692, and this is 56,141. And another 3 neutrons are there. So mass of 3 neutrons that is here it is 1 into 3 means 3.024. So this is the total mass before the nuclear fission, and sum of these three gives the total mass after the nuclear fission. The difference in between these two masses is converted into energy by Einstein equation. So that energy is released here itself. So now sum of these two we will get 3, 2, 13, 3, 1.236. And sum of these three gives actually 9 to 6, 18, 10, 19, 4, 5, 235. So mass of these products, reactants is greater than, reactants, mass of these reactants is less than the, mass of these products is less than the reactants. So this difference in mass is converted into energy. So now the difference in mass is 236.133 and this is 235.908. Now on subtracting, this is 5, here it is 2, here it is 2.225. That means the difference in mass delta M is 0.225 atomic mass units. Now for 1 AMU mass is converted into energy, 931 million electron volt of energy is released. Okay, as we know, already we have derived this. So when 1 AMU of mass is converted into energy, the amount of energy released is 931 million electron volt. So when this amount of energy, that means 0.225 AMU of energy is converted, then we can write it as 0.225 into 931 MeV, and this equal to delta E. So this is approximately equal to, as this is approximately 1000 and this is 200. So we can get approximately 200 million electron volt. That means for each fission of one uranium nuclei, this much amount of energy is released. That is 200 MeV of energy is released. Okay. So how we have calculated this one is, we have considered the mass of uranium 235 and mass of neutron, and these sum of these two and sum of these three. The difference in between these three, difference in mass of these two is calculated as 0.225 AMU, and this amount of energy is converted into energy. For 1 AMU of energy, we have 931 million electron volt. So that 0.225 AMU of energy is converted into energy. So this amount of energy, approximately 200 million electron volt of energy is released. So you have to remember that for each fission of uranium 235 nuclei, 200 MeV of energy, million electron volt of energy is released. Now similarly we can that means when one from this we can conclude that from when one uranium nuclei undergoes fission, the amount of energy released is 200 million electron volt. Now we consider when 1 gram of uranium Okay, when 1 gram of uranium disintegrates, then the amount of energy is released. As we know, 1 gram of 1 gram of uranium consists of 1 gram of uranium consists of how many number of atoms? Okay, that is N divided by 235 number of atoms. So, number of atoms in 1 gram of uranium 235 consists of this Avogadro number divided by 235 number of atoms. That is, Avogadro number is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 235. So, 1 gram of this uranium 235 consists of this many number of atoms. Okay, and that we can calculating this, we will get it is 2.253 10 power 21 number of atoms. Okay, this many number of atoms. Okay. Now, if this many number of atoms undergo, as we know, for one fission, the amount of energy released is 200 million electron volt. That means that is 200 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into million means 10 power 6 joule. So, this is 200 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joules. Now, if 1 gram of uranium undergoes fission, then this many number of atoms, that means this many number of nuclei undergo fission. So, for each fission we will get an amount of energy, this amount of energy. So, total amount of energy released during the 1 gram of uranium 235 fission is 2.253 into 10 to the power 21 into 200 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joule. Because for one nucleus this amount of energy is released. There are this many number of nuclei. So, total amount of energy released in the fission of 1 gram of uranium 235 is this number multiplied by this amount of energy. So that we will get this one. So, we will get it as 8.2 into 10 to the power 10 joule. If we simplify this one, we will get this value. So, 8.2 into 10 to the power 10 joule. So, you have to remember these two. So, okay, when one uranium 235 nuclei undergo fission, the emission of energy will be 200 MeV. MeV, or if you convert into joules, this amount of energy will get 200 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joule amount of energy. When uranium 235, 1 gram of uranium 235 undergo fission, the total amount of energy released is 8.2 into 10 to the power 10 joule. Okay. Okay. So, nuclear fission means the process by which an unstable nuclei, by bombarding with or colliding with a slow moving neutron, it gives two stable nuclei with the release of energy, and that process is called nuclear fission. And in the nuclear fission of uranium 9235, for one fission 200 million electron volts of energy is released, and for 1 gram of uranium 235, this 8.2 into 10 to the power 10 joules joule amount of energy is released. Okay. Now, chain reaction. Next one. Chain reaction. What is chain reaction means? Already we know in uranium, at uranium 235, is bombarded with a slow neutron. It gives two stable nuclei, barium and krypton, of 56, 36, 92, 141, and 3 neutrons and energy. Okay, so this is the nuclear reaction. That means when a uranium 235 nuclei undergo a fission, it gives barium, krypton and 3 neutrons. Okay, that means in the nuclear fission process, actually 3 neutrons are released. Okay, what happens is 3 neutrons are released. Now, when these 3 neutrons, assume that in a sample, suppose when one nuclei undergo fission, so that 3 neutrons are released. When these 3 neutrons again undergo fission with uranium 235, that means again these 3 neutrons again collide with 3 uranium 235. That means another 3 fissions takes place. Okay, in the first fission reaction, 3 neutrons are released, and these 3 released neutrons again collide or bombard with another 3 uranium 235 nuclei. What happens is 3 nuclear reactions, that means 3 fissions will take place. That means another, for each fission 3 neutrons are released. So here how many fissions are taking place? 3 nuclear fissions are taking place. So that we will get 9 neutrons. Okay, starting from first neutron, we will get 3 neutrons. When these 3 neutrons collide with or bombard with another 3 uranium nuclei, and 3 nuclear fissions takes place, and in each fission 3 neutrons are released. So 3 into 3, 9 neutrons are released. And now again these 9 neutrons undergo nuclear fission with again 9 uranium nuclei. Then what happens? In each fission, that means another 9 fission reactions takes place. In these 9 fission reactions, again in each fission again 3 neutrons are released. So that 9 into 3, 27 neutrons are released. Now again these 27 gives 81, and these 81 again gives 81 into 3, 243. That means the number of neutrons increases. That means this is a chain of reactions, this continues. So in this process the number of neutrons increases in geometric progression. That means first one it goes to 3, 3 to 9, 9 to 27, 27 to 81, 243, etc. That means 3 power 0, 3 power 1, 3 power 2, 3 power 3, 3 power 4, etc. That means the number of neutrons are increasing in geometric progression and continues further nuclear fission reactions. Hence, this is called a chain reaction. Okay. Now we can see like this. So first uranium plus neutron, 1 neutron, it gives out 3 neutrons. Now when these 3 react with another uranium nuclei, It gives out again 3, it gives out 3, it gives out 3. Now first here it is 3 and here it is 9. And next they will go to 27. Now we have to type this. Now again uranium, uranium, uranium. We will get again 3, again 3, again 3. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Now again, if these react with uraniums, next gives 81. That means chain reaction is the process of nuclear fission reactions in which the neutrons number increases geometrical progression and further, which initiate further nuclear reactions, and this process is called chain reaction. Okay. Okay. In each, what is the principle here? What is the chain reaction means? In each fission reaction, 3 neutrons are released, and when these 3 neutrons further initiate further nuclear fissions, the number of neutrons increases in geometric progression, and this is called chain reaction. Okay. Now, in a nuclear reaction, we define neutron multiplication factor K. Neutron multiplication factor K. What is this neutron multiplication factor? Is K is defined as the ratio of number of neutrons in the present generation to the number of neutrons in the previous generation. Okay, it is defined as number of neutrons in present generation divided by number of neutrons in previous generation. Okay, so number of neutrons in the present generation to the number of neutrons in the previous generation. Okay, so that is called neutron multiplication factor K. Okay, now this K defines the reaction controls. How we can control the nuclear reaction depends on this K value. Suppose if in this value, if K is less than 1, K is less than 1 means number of, that means this numerator is less than this denominator. Numerator is less means number of neutrons in the present generation is less than previous generation. That means if the number of neutrons decreases from generation to generation, what happens is this K becomes less and less, so that this chain reaction will stop. Okay. Now, if the number of neutrons in the generations or in the preceding generations decreases from generation to generation, then what happens is the number of neutrons in the present generation is less than previous generation, so that the number of neutrons decreases, so that this chain reaction will stop. That means when this process takes place is actually when in a nuclear fission 3 neutrons are released, but some neutrons may escape or deviate from their paths, so that we can't predict that all the neutrons may continue in this chain reaction. Suppose if they deviate or they escape or leak from the sample, in that case what happens is the number of neutrons in the present generation decreases with respect to the previous generation. In that case the chain, this number k becomes less than 1, and if k becomes lesser and lesser, this chain reaction will stop. Now if k is equal to 1, that means number of neutrons in the present generation, number of neutrons in the previous generation, if these two are equal, then k is equal to 1. That means number of neutrons in the present generation is equal to the number of neutrons in the previous generation. That means if these two number is same, then we say the chain reaction as controlled chain reaction. It's called controlled chain reaction. And if k is greater than 1, that means numerator is greater than this denominator. That means number of neutrons in the present generation is always greater than the number of neutrons in the previous generation. Then that reaction is called chain reaction is uncontrolled. If the neutrons number is increasing geometrical progression and the reaction is uncontrolled, as uncontrolled. Okay, the nuclear reaction becomes uncontrolled. So this particular chain reaction, controlled chain reaction, takes place in nuclear reactors. It's called nuclear reactors. Whereas in chain reaction is uncontrolled, it is called an atom bomb. Where there is no control of this nuclear fission, enormous amount of energy is released, and that leads to destruction. That is called atom bomb. That means if the chain reaction is becomes uncontrolled, that means if this condition takes place, if number of neutrons in the present generation becomes greater and greater to the previous generations, then the reaction is uncontrolled, and that is called an atom bomb. So that is the principle of atom bomb. But whereas if we make this present generation and previous generation number of neutrons equal, that means this k is equal to 1, then we say it is controlled chain reaction, and that takes place in a nuclear reactors. Okay? If the present generation number of neutrons is less than that of 1, that means if k is less than 1, automatically this chain reaction will lead to halt, or this chain reaction will stop. Okay, so you have to remember this one. Okay, nuclear fission is the nuclear reaction in which an unstable nuclei splits into two stable nuclei with the release of energy, and this nuclear fission takes place when a slow moving neutron bombards with the uranium-235 nuclei. It gives two nuclei, stable nuclei, barium and krypton, with release of 3 neutrons and energy, and in each fission reaction the amount of energy released is 200 million electron volt, and from this calculation we consider that if 1 gram of uranium-235 undergoes fission, the total amount of energy released is 8.2 10 to the power 10 joule. Okay, and in this nuclear fission reaction, 3 neutrons are released in every fission reaction, in each fission reaction. When these 3 neutrons initiate 3 more uranium nuclei to fission, so 9 neutrons are released. If these 9 neutrons initiate uranium-235 for further fissions, 27 neutrons are released. In this way, the number of neutrons increases in geometric progression, and that reaction is called chain. That means the increase of neutrons in a fission reaction in geometric progression and initiate further nuclear fissions is called chain reaction. So from that chain reaction, we define this neutron multiplication factor as number of neutrons in the present generation, ratio of number of neutrons in the present generation to the number of neutrons in the previous generation. If the ratio k is less than 1, then the chain reaction will lead to halt, chain reaction will halt. If K is equal to 1, in that case we say the chain reaction is a controlled chain reaction. If K is greater than 1, the chain reaction is uncontrolled, and that is the principle of atom bomb, and this controlled chain reaction takes place in a nuclear reactor. Okay.